Hey guys, welcome to the New Paradigm Leadership Network. Ashley and I here with our very special friend, Samantha Shea. Sam, so excited to have you here. And this has been a topic that we've been talking about kind of in our circle for a while, in terms of really talking about these themes of Atlantis, ancient, Atlantis and all of that, and what these themes are really meaning for us right now in the new paradigm as we step up into leadership. And I know, obviously, knowing you very well, Sam, and participating in some of your programs and everything, I know you have such a deep connection with Atlantis, and you're really here to bring those codes forward. So we wanted to hear from you and have you on here to chat about, like, what that means. And obviously we're going to go into an even deeper conversation at the end of the month. So August 27th, we have our next NPLN meeting. So we're going to go deeper into what we're going to talk about today then. So that's August 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to join us there. Our vision for those and kind of how we're holding those is it's very much roundtable kind of panel type of a vibe. So we want to bring in these really important themes like Atlantis. Like last month, we talked with Val about feminism and what that means in the new paradigm. So we want to keep bringing these things forward and talking about them, because these are the conversations we want to be having to really move the energy forward instead of staying where we are or staying in victim mode. And that means really leaning into the ancient wisdom and what we have, to really lean into. So, Sam, I'll let you open it up and introduce yourself, and we'll get to chatting.
Hello, everybody. I'm Samantha. I'm always like, how do I introduce myself? Um, so yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited for the big talk, which is in like 10 days. So that's exciting. So I have this infinity sensation and knowing to Atlantis, but I didn't know that at the beginning of my quote unquote like awakening remembrance journey. And really, I'm just going to cut to the point here because I'll go into it more in our longer talk. But Atlantis is the ancient energy of Atlantis is really where our forgetting began, like our amnesia began, and where the entrapment started. And what I mean by entrapment is our the truth of who we are being like so far away from us, and the entrapment of just fears and dense energy, us being in worry and not connected to our creativity. It really began in Atlantis, and it's not because Atlantis is bad, right? Nothing is actually bad. But how Atlantis came about, or this planet Earth, was really we were all just high frequency conscious being. Not even we were conscious, but we were using different frequencies to create. And through that creation, we got really excited just creating all these different lands and spaces that we were like, what if we create a body? What if we create these elements into a body? And let's play with that. And through that, creating the body, we started to, over time, forget that we were like the ones creating all of it. And through that, we were also creating portals. And at one point, one of these portals got infiltrated by these parasitic energies that came in and were able to, in a sense, feed off of those who were yearning for a feeling of connection, because those are the ones who have already started to forget that they were the creator beings. And so these energies were able to come in and use those people, in a sense, um, kind of feed off of their fear that they were separated for something, because they had already forgotten, right? Started to forget, while other beings hadn't forgotten why they were here. And so they started to infiltrate them and the technology that was already on this planet, which was Atlantis, and use it to keep us in this entrapment. And so what's happening now is where a lot of us are starting to remember there's something more than fear. There's something more than what's coming in the mainstream media and that we're feeling. And it's this remembrance that we were the original creators here before fear came in. Um, and so that's why what you guys are creating is so powerful, because you're reaching so many different people that know they're part of this new earth paradigm, but the new earth paradigm starts from within. It's like remembering that we are this body with a soul that is a creative energy. It's a creative force within it. And so Atlantis is really where the trauma started, but also
Yeah.
creation started. How ironic, right? So that's my infinity towards it, because I've learned that I hold a lot of remembrance codes. And that's what I'm here for, is to awaken people to their remembrance. So
I
yeah.
like how you call the energy parasitic. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people put, a lot of times we tend to put like this, we put the darker energy on a pedestal.
Hmm.
And I think that's really been the problem, is that people pedestal this dark energy too much. And then that diminishes our power. And I feel like that's really like a great way to look at it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, portals open, parasitic energies came in, shifted a lot of things, created the world that we're in now, but we can shift out of it.
Yeah, we absolutely can shift out of it. And
Hmm.
the parasitic energy is the fears. It's,
Right.
and so right now, like, let's just say it, like, AI is, we all know AI is loud, but AI's always been here, because
Right.
right, we're intelligent beings. We're just, there's two sides. Like, you could be afraid of AI, so you're going to feed that energy, or you can see AI for what it is. How can you use it intentionally or not use it at all? Like, because we are creator beings, if we're aware of our fears and concerns and worries, we can actually determine what we're giving power to. And so if we look at parasitic energy as just an entity that really was also lost and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to connect with these people because they're lost." Right? They came into our creation and they couldn't find their way out. So they basically were like, "How do we stay here to make
Hmm.
it our own?" Right? So two sides of the coin. So we can look at them as evil and dark and negative, or we can see that, oh, we also chose to come here to forget, and through that we just found like home, or a sense of home. Like, I don't want to say home, that's the wrong word, but we felt a sense of connection to something that also was disconnected, right? And so once we realize, like, oh, we're actually not disconnected from anything that's a belief, we can zoom out and be like, oh, everything just wants to find acceptance here. Oh, that's cool. So how can I create in that, rather than like, ah. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's so important, right? Because we know what resists persists. So coming to anything with that resistance energy is not necessarily going to end well, right? It's more about how can I create with this. And I think what you named is really important. This is something Ashley and I talk about a lot too, is that we have to get people to start dreaming, like to start really creating, what it is that we're wanting, instead of just constantly trying to change things necessarily in the sense of fixing things that are broken per se,
Mm,
and instead really more like as a minor shift, I guess, but like a little perspective shift, and actually creating like what comes next,
mm,
and putting into that is so important. And it doesn't even really take that many people to wake up and realize that we are the creators to make that shift. It's a matter of, I think, what's the word, deparasiting, to cleansing, to have enough
yeah.
parasite cleanses, right, to just to be able to get to that point where you're not living from the place of that parasitic attachment.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because somebody actually just sent me a video about this, about like the parasites and how they come in during times of trauma. Like it's usually at those points when they're created, and then when you pass that parasite, when that leaves, those thoughts, those fears, those feelings, like all of those things just go away,
Hmm.
which is insane.
Hmm. Yeah, once we have the awareness of something, we have our choice point, right? Like,
Hmm.
do we want to be angry at this and feed the anger at it and like the frustration and like project it, it's because of this, this, and this that I got this? Or do we want to accept it and be like, all right, what can I learn from this to show it appreciation for what it's teaching me, and then let it go? right? Because then we can take our true power back. Because nothing is inherently, and people laugh when I say this, but like nothing is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy we give it. It's our, as you said, Alyssa, like our perspective around it. And I believe everything can teach us, and then it becomes a blessing. Can it be really hard and crunchy sometimes? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what I have learned is that if we chose a certain situation, a certain challenge, we also chose the outcome. We chose the solution because we wouldn't have come here and not had that. Like we are, if we're truly divinely created beings, which I believe we are, my heart of hearts, any challenge that's coming to me, I'm like, okay, let me remove these feelings for a second, take a step back, see what these feelings are teaching me, but zoom out and see the bigger perspective because I have solutions for whatever this challenge is. Right? So I can choose to have those or harbor in this challenge and just let it fester. And that's when we get disease in the body, right? It's when we get sick. It's the parasites.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all here. Well, I'm not gonna say for all, the majority of us that want to remember and want to awaken, we have some attachment still in our nervous system to Atlantis. And so we're all yearning for some feeling, some connection. And it's remembering that at the end of the day, like nothing is bad. It was just simply made out of creation in a form of play. And we're taught that, like, growing up, you can't play for too long, can't have fun for too long, can't be too excited, right? So we're right from the beginning, we're like, our play is hindered. And we came in as playful creator beings. So when we're separated from that, that's when the parasitic energy comes in because it's the fears and they suck onto it.
So,
Yes.
what would you say are some of the like the biggest themes that you see coming up right now with like this new paradigm, what we're shifting into? Because it's really about the shift in leadership that's happening, right? That's it, right? We're going from this place of hierarchy and leaders, from a place that we're really parasitic, right? I mean, it hasn't been about leading for the benefit of all, it's been about leading for the benefit of very few at the top, right? And everybody else are sort of just been kind of, we're like cogs in a wheel. So what would you say are like some of the really important themes right now that we kind of need to tap into?
I just got the greatest imagery when you said cogs in a wheel because I literally just watched a video of cute little pigs jumping off a slide. So, anyways, uh, like I don't even know what a cog is, but I saw a pig. So, anyways, I just had to maybe that's the freedom, but so that's one of the themes, guys. Be in your full expression, like. That's one of the themes. What I just did was like, I don't even care what people are going to think right now. Like, this is coming up. Because you guys and I have been talking about this, like this performance coming out of it, right? But really what that means is say what you want. As long as you know, like it's not coming from a fear-based projection. It's like literally coming from like, this is just me. That is so important, our true expression. And the other thing that's coming in, I don't really know how to name it, but it's around this worthiness piece of being happy of what you've already created and have already done, what you've already
Mm-hmm.
accomplished. Because I've been falling into this trap and I'm coming out of it, but I'm like, oh, I'm in that trap again. And it's seeing what everyone else is making that says that they're a spiritual person or that they're teaching this or teaching that. And like, here's the view counts, here's this. And I'm like, I sat with this weekend. I went to a somatic dance and I met some lovely people. And we were just talking about like, our feeds being like infiltrated with like make this
Mm-hmm.
100,000 a month, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like that's quantity, right? But it's what's the quality within that? And for some people, they might get a lot of oomph from it. But for me personally, what I see this world shifting into, if you're truly someone of service, it doesn't matter your bank account number. It doesn't matter how much you can promise someone monetary wise because it's causing a divide. it's making people, and I'm going to speak for myself and people that I've spoken to, not for the whole collective, but um if you're in service and you're doing energy work, or you're a shaman, or you're a coach, or you're helping people be in their body soul wise, we know that that's priceless. But if we're doing it to make money, 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 we're losing the whole being in service, right? And because we're falling into a trap. And so I've learned that the spiritual community has also been a hype, like that's a system now. And then this
Mhm.
coaching industry is also another system. And it's
Mhm.
like, if we're in our true expression, where we're learning, because I feel like we always learn what our medicine is, it's evolving as we evolve. We can't necessarily attach it to a number, right? Like, yes, we need, yes, 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 we need money to live. Yes. And yes, we're all worthy of making lots and lots of money. But what I'm seeing in the industry, and I encountered this I'm not going to name the place. I saw people that make a lot of money being worshipped by their community. And I was
Mhm.
watching it and I was like, and they were like, this is my retention. This is my retention. I was like, this isn't retention. This is fangirling. This is like, I just saw a separation in someone that I held in high regard. Not, no one's on a pedestal, but I was like, huh. And you're a leader in this type of industry, and this is actually what's happening in your circle. And then I started seeing it in other people's, and I was like, this is not what I'm here for. And maybe that's why I don't have the millions of dollars yet, because I'm not willing to sacrifice my self-expression, or um, create codependent relationships with my clients to keep them in my world, to have
Right.
a number in my account.
Mhm.
And that was like something hard for me to like understand what was happening around me. And I was like, oh, I see, because I am part of this new paradigm, right? And the money is coming and it will come. So let me celebrate what is here already, and not let the confusion of this type of outside noise infiltrate me, because that's not the medicine I'm here for. So I think, to answer your question, it's this worthiness piece, like honor your expression of what you're here for, and know that um everyone's medicine is different, and it comes back to like discernment. Don't keep staying in someone's container if you don't feel like you're actually growing and evolving in it. You're doing it to keep a
Mhm.
friendship.
Right.
Because if that person's truly your friend, you don't need to pay to be their friend. So I'm mic drop that right there.
And like a lot of what you just said, it really sounds like the Atlantis energy, the negative Atlantis energy,
Yes.
like being played out in the coaching and in the spiritual community, you
Yes.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the new paradigm is us being sovereign. It's not us being dependent. It's the co-creation piece that is the new paradigm. It's like we all have that one blueprint where we work together,
Mm-hmm.
and we move through coaches, mentors when we need them, and then we go and do our own thing. So, yeah, I think that that's a very important piece for sure.
Yeah. Because listening to our intuition is so, so important. And
Hmm.
I mean, you guys taught me a lot this past year, and I was like, I don't want to hear it. And, but I, but I felt, I knew the knowing in it within my body. And then a lot more, I connected more to like my Atlantean truth of it. And I was like, show me this even more. But I had to go through certain steps to realize I was, in a sense, also in a dependent relationship, not realizing it, but it was because I didn't want to be abandoned by being more in my leader, by being more in my power. And so you have to have tough conversations. And going back to what situation I saw in a group thing, I was like, she she knows, this person knows she's outgrown her clientele and isn't wanting to have that conversation. And I will have these conversations, because
Hmm.
we're not doing anyone a service if we know we've outgrown, or we can't help somebody at that now moment. Doesn't mean they won't come back around in our
Hmm.
circle, you know?
Right.
Mhm. And
Of
that's
course.
integrity.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
having integrity, and yeah, for sure. Amazing. Well, I'm so excited to go deeper into all the things. So, again, everybody, make sure you are subscribed and join us on August 27th at 7 o'clock Eastern. And we're going to talk more about this. And also, another thing, like, we'll ask Sam for sure during that meeting, you know, like what do we do with this information? Like, we'll definitely talk about that, and how can we move forward with this, and how can we, you know, use these different themes to elevate ourselves and our communities, because that's really what all of this is about. And also be on the lookout, because Ashley and Sam have a podcast coming out on Ashley's podcast. So definitely make sure you listen to that as well. And I think that's it. Anything else, ladies?
I'm being guided that I will be giving a transmission for everybody for the live call, and some tools to connect to your own divine blueprint for whatever you're going through. So, yay!
Love that.
Yay.
Yeah.
Can't wait. All
Cool.
right. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.